rear wheel locking up, torque drag, or is it drag torque? One of the two. Let's get into it.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So, quick video here about Harley Davidsons, and it might apply to other bikes as well, especially with big powerful engine, V-twin engines. I think this might even have happened to the VMAX as well, the Yamaha VMAX, and a few other bikes that have slipped my mind right now. But anyway, the rear wheel locking up on a Harley Davidson, especially when you're downshifting, when you're decelerating and you're going down in the gears. Has this happened to you? Now, I've got to say, before I bought the heroic Harley, the Sport Glide with the M8 engine, a few years previous to that, I'd tried out the Fat Bob and the Street Bob, and it was the low rider as well, on the twin cams and the diners as well. And I've got to say, I was riding those. Whilst I like the bikes, every time I was downshifting, the rear wheel locked up. Now, especially on the Fat Bob and the Street Bob, I took those both out when it was raining and it was really squirrely. It just locked up, went all over the place. Now, I put it down to the fact that I'd predominantly always ridden 4-cylinder bikes, and you know, it seems to hold its revs a little bit longer, so it couldn't kind of minimize that rear wheel locking up. However, with these bikes, I thought, crikey, this must be a real thing. Now, however, when I got my M8 here, didn't have any rear wheel locking up at all, no drag torque at all. Now, a lot of this could be down to the fact the way I'm riding, the way I'm downshifting. I'm very gradual with my gear shifting. I add a bit of throttle, a blip of the throttle when I'm downshifting as well. And that maybe just minimises the effect on the rear tyre. But I'd really like to know why it actually happens, especially more so on the V-twins and maybe on Harley Davidson. Does it happen to Indians? Does it happen to any other bike that I'm unaware of? So Harley Davidson, with their Taurus a couple of years ago, obviously they bought out the RDRS, and one of the components assists on that system is this drag torque slip control system, especially in the corners. And you can imagine you're downshifting in the corners, which is not always a good idea anyway, and then the rear wheel locks up, you know what I mean? So they got the RDRS with this system, this drag torque slip control system with it, and yeah, it seems to have sorted out that problem. So here's a question for you guys: if you experience a rear wheel locking up as well, and then you've gone and got yourself a Tourer with the RDRS, has it really stopped that from happening? Now, they say that it has to be aggressive downshifting and decelerating that kind of generates this phenomenon with the rear wheel locking up. So I'd just like to know, is it the case? You know, does the RDRS, that system, does it solve that problem? Or is it just the way you ride? You know, add a bit of blip the throttle when you're downshifting, make your gear changing nice and smooth. Does that eliminate the problem? Now, when they first introduced the RDRS on the Taurus, I was one of the guys that's saying, hey, hold on, what about the Softails? You know, come bring it out for the Softails. But I've got to say, in this particular instance, I can't think of a reason why you would want it on the bike anyway, because it's not being affected by it. It's not being affected by it in the rain, in slippery conditions, or, you know, certainly in the dry, even aggressive riding or gentle riding either. In fact, I've found it really difficult to replicate this on the M8. Now, I say on the twin cams, when I rode the Street Bob, and the fat bob especially. I can't remember on the lowrider actually, but on those two bikes, yeah, I definitely got it, but this never had it. So over to you guys. Let us know first of all, what causes the rear wheel to lock up, because I'm not 100% sure myself. You know, is it a difference in engine speed and gearbox? Is that the reason? You know, is it, you know, you had a bit of engine throttle to raise up the RPMs, and that actually matches with the gearbox as well, and that kind of stops it? Is the smooth transition through the gears, does that help as well? Now personally, I've got a feeling that it's that smooth transition in the gear changing, and also adding a bit of throttle, that eliminates this issue. So whether it's an electronic fix like the RDRS, or whether it's just the way you're riding, that solves the issue. Or is it because it's with the M8s now and the way they've changed their chassis, or, you know, it's a different engine of course, has that helped to eliminate the issue? And does it still readily occur on the twin cams or Evos or any other Harley from the past? Let us know your experiences of this drag, torque, slip, or basically the rear wheel locking up. Let us know in the comments below. But as I say, I don't have a solution here. All I know is that the way I ride, I don't get this rear wheel locking up in any conditions. And you know, when I first said that the RDRS should be on the Softails as well, I kind of think for some people it would really help as well. But say I haven't experienced any issue with it for it to necessitate it, if you know what I mean. But anyway, let us know your thoughts, any experiences of the rear wheel locking up on the Harleys or any other motorcycle, and the fixes or the way you're riding to eliminate it. Right, with that in mind, I'm going to get this heroic Harley down the road that way and, well, head off into a bit of an overcast day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you again on another video coming very, very soon. Ta-da!